All right, so thank you all for joining me for a 90-minute yoga class. This morning we're gonna do our beloved traditional 26 and 2 yoga class. But before we hop into that, we're gonna do 3 rounds of sun salutations to warm up the body a little bit, and then we'll hop into the 26 postures and 2 breathing exercises with the sun salutations and with all of the yoga. Remember to listen to your body. If something doesn't feel quite right, you're welcome to modify, do something else, or skip entirely. Yoga should be challenging at times, right? But we're never going to a point of pain. The number one rule in yoga is ahimsa, which translates to mean do no harm. So you're never practicing yoga to an extent that could cause harm to yourself or someone else. So for the 3 rounds of sun salutations, come towards the top of your mat. And I'm actually going to stand back and show you from the side, from periphery. Every movement in the sun salutation goes with an inhale or an exhale. Ujjayi breath, where you gently constrict your throat so you breathe a little bit slower and longer. So come towards the top of your mat, bring your feet close together, toes, heels touching nicely. Take a moment, bring the weight into your toes, rock the weight back into your heels, and then just evenly distribute your body weight on both feet. Relax your shoulders, take a slow inhale, and a slow exhale, just starting to arrive this morning in the present moment. All right, 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar, a sun salutation. Start with your hands at heart center, looking forward, and begin. As you inhale, lift your arms up overhead, look up as if you were saluting or greeting the sun. Exhale, stomach in, bend your knees, fold forward, put your hands on the floor and drop your head, look back. Inhale into a halfway lift. You can have your hands on your thighs, your shins, or the floor in front of you, back flat, looking slightly forward. Exhale, bend your knees, keep looking forward, put your hands on the floor and step back into a high plank or into a tabletop position. You're welcome to stay here in your plank or tabletop, or you can take what's called a vinyasa, going forward 2 inches, hug your elbows in towards your ribs and lower down to a 90-degree angle with your elbows. Inhale, come up into a back bend. You can do baby cobra with elbows bent and thighs on the floor, or up dog with arms straight and thighs off the floor. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up for down dog. Bend one knee, straighten the other, lift your hips up, press your heels down, spread your shoulders wide. And if this down dog movement does not feel right for your body, you are not alone in that. You are welcome to take a child's pose instead. So for child's pose, you want to come down onto your shins, reach your arms forward and sink your hips down. So to review, every plank can be a tabletop, every down dog can be a child's pose. And if those 2 motions in between, the lowering down and then the back bend, we call that a vinyasa. If those 2 motions in between don't work for your body, you can go straight from your plank or your tabletop directly into your down dog or child's pose. You can skip the vinyasa part. Take an inhale, take an exhale. On your next inhale, look forward, hands on the floor, step forward, feet between the hands, come up into a halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your head, look towards your shins. Inhale, root to rise. Circle your arms, arms up, looking up overhead, saluting the sun. Exhale, hands down at heart center. Good, 2 more. Inhale, lift your arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward, drop your head. Inhale, halfway lift, weight in your toes. Exhale, hands to floor, step back into your high plank or tabletop. Remember that you can go directly from here into your down dog or child's pose, or you can take a vinyasa. Go forward 2 inches, hug your elbows in, lower down halfway. Inhale, come up into your back bend. Again, if you do baby cobra, thighs on the floor, belly button on the floor. If you do up dog, thighs must come off the floor. The only parts of your body touching the floor should be your feet and your hands. This is safer for your shoulders. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up for down dog, or sink your hips down for child's pose. So for child's pose, actively stretch your arms forward and drop your hips down towards your heels. For down dog, lift your hips up, contract your thighs, and try to press your heels down to the floor. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears and spread your fingers wide.
Root down through all 28 knuckles, especially the space between your index finger and thumb. Pushing down there, drop your head. Look for your shins or thighs below you. Take an inhale, Ujjayi breathing, and an exhale. Inhale, look forward, step forward into a halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, soften your neck and head. Inhale, come on up, knees can bend, arms up, looking up overhead. Exhale, hands down at heart center. Good, last one. Inhale, lift your arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to floor, step back into your high plank. Keep exhaling, lower down. Inhale, come up into your back bend. Exhale, tuck your toes under, lift your hips up for down dog or child's pose. If you're doing down dog one last time, try to get your heels down to the floor. You might need to take a slightly wider step between your feet. You can bend one knee or straighten the other. Tilt your hips up, drop your head down, spread your fingers wide, take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, look forward, step forward. Exhale, bend your knees, head down. Inhale, reach your eyes, arms up, looking up overhead. Exhale, hands down at heart center. Wonderful. So that was our little warm up. I hope you feel a little bit more like the blood is flowing. I know I do. From here, we're going to hop into traditional 26 and 2 yoga. I'm going to adjust my mat a little bit, starting with pranayama, deep breathing. Bring your feet together, toes, heels touching nicely. Interlock your 10 fingers, cross your thumbs, and glue your knuckles underneath your chin. Rock your weight into your heels. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. You made it to class. Concentrate, meditate, and begin. Inhale, chin down and arms up. Breathe in through your nose. Lift your elbows up. Suck your stomach in. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, head up. Exhale through your mouth. HA sound. Head back. Arms forward. Elbows touch. Good. Inhale. Chin down. Slowly bring your chin down. Look straight ahead. Lift your elbows all the way up. Fill up your lungs. Exhale, head up. Slowly push your head back. Look way, way, way back for the wall behind you. Arms forward. Elbows touch. Inhale, head down. Breathe in through your nose. Down through your throat to the very bottom of your lungs. Exhale, head up. As you exhale, open your mouth wide. Slowly head back. Slowly arms forward. Elbows touch. Inhale, head down. You're never forcing the neck, so just bring the chin down, look straight ahead, lift your elbows up. Exhale, head up. On those days where your neck is tight, you don't have to drop your head all the way back. Look up towards the ceiling. Do your best to stretch your arms forward, elbows touch. Inhale, head down. Breathe in through your nose, down through your throat to the very bottom of your lungs. Exhale, head up. The more you exhale here, the more fresh oxygen you can take in. On the next breath, push the air out. Inhale, head down. So make this the deepest breath so far. Breathing into the top of the lungs, middle of the lungs, bottom of the lungs, full lungs. Exhale, head up. In our day-to-day life, we don't really use the full lung capacity, but the lungs need to be worked out like any other part of the body. Inhale, head down. So it's Ujjayi breathing again, breathing against the back of the throat as you lift your elbows up. Slowly exhale as you tilt your head back. Imagine you're fogging up a mirror on the ceiling. Head back, arms forward, elbows touch. Inhale, head down. Let's make this the last breath in the first set. Spine a little longer, elbows a little higher, lungs a little fuller. Suck your stomach in, breathe deep, full lungs. Exhale, head up, take your time. Eyes open, hips forward, legs locked, stomach in. Keep exhaling, push, squeeze, elbows touch. Good, change, arms down. You can roll out your shoulders and head. Second set, feet together. Interlock your 10 fingers, cross your thumbs. Switch the grip, so opposite thumb, pinky finger on top. Knuckles under the chin like glue, top thumb pressing gently into the throat to remind the throat to be a little constricted. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your butt, grow taller out of the base of your spine, and begin. Inhale, chin down and arms up, breathing in through the nose against the back of the throat. Create a little bit of a vibration, snoring sensation. Exhale, head up, use your throat muscles. Think of your throat like a valve, constricted, breathe slower, longer. Exhale more, elbows touch. Inhale, head down, so it's a little bit of a Darth Vader sound. Not a Baby Yoda sound, you're not stimulating your vocal cords. Exhale, head up, use your knuckles to push your head back, squeeze your palms together, wrists together, forearms, elbows touch. Inhale, head down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, full lungs. Exhale, head up, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lungs empty, 1. Inhale, head down. Use the full 6 seconds to inhale. Slowly bring your chin down as you lift your elbows up. Exhale, head up. Use the full 6 seconds to exhale. Synchronize breath with body movements. Elbows touch when lungs are empty. Inhale, head down. Keep the weight in your heels so the lower body stays super strong, super still, like a statue. Exhale, head up, weight in your heels, hips a little forward, hip muscles contracting, thigh muscles tight. Inhale, head down, stomach, 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 depression to abdominal wall, contraction to abdominal muscles, suck it in, hold it in tight. Exhale, head up, even as you exhale, stomach in, eyes open, head back, shoulders down, elbows up, elbows touch. Inhale, head down. So can you keep your shoulders down and your elbows up? Chin down, elbows up, stomach in, full lungs. Exhale, head up. Same thing, shoulders down, elbows up, triceps parallel to the floor, elbows touch. Inhale, head down. So just the neck and arms are moving, right? It's like you're leaning against a wall behind you. Exhale, head up. Just your head drops back, no backward bending. Keep shoulders over hips, hips over heels, weight in the heels. Inhale, head down. This is the last breath. Second set, deepest breath of your life when your lungs are totally full. Surprise yourself. Take in one more sip of air. Exhale, head up. Take your time. Let everything go through the exhale breath. Any worries, any cares, let them go. Be here now, elbows touch. Good, change. Arms down, you can roll out your shoulders and head. We'll continue with half moon with hands to feet pose, Ardha Chandrasana with Padastasana. Keep your feet together. Inhale, arms overhead, palms together. Interlock your fingers, release your index fingers, cross your thumbs, stretch up, and bend right and left, right and left. Every time you pass through the middle, reach up a little taller. Now, it's my experience practicing in a not so hot room that we're a little bit extra crunchy at the beginning of class, so take it easy. And also in the morning, right? I'm a little bit more stiff at 10 a.m. than I am at 6 p.m. You might be the same way. So just remember that your mobility today might be a little bit different than it was last night, and that's okay. Okay, when you can't stretch anymore, come to stop in the middle. Bring the weight into your heels. Contract your thighs, squeeze your butt, and push your hips forward, hips and pelvis opening to the front of your mat. Squeeze your palms together, suck your stomach in, upper body back, biceps with your ears. Inhale, breathing, stretch up out of your waist, try to touch the ceiling. Exhale, breathing, absolutely straight line, slowly bend your body to the right. Without bending your elbows and knees, continuously push your hips to the left beyond your flexibility. You're trying to create a tremendous stretching feeling in the left side of your body, all over, inside out, bones to skin, fingers to toes. Just remember, it's the first posture of the day. There is no rush. There's nowhere you need to be. Nothing you have to prove to yourself, to me, to anyone else. All you have to do is breathe in and out through the nose. Let your breath be your guide. As you inhale, lengthen your arms, touch your biceps to your ears. As you exhale, lock your legs, contract your thighs, come down, push, push, push. Change. Inhale to come up and stop in the middle. Hips forward, arms back, stretch up out of your waist and slowly bend to the left as you push your hips to the right. So notice if you're using your shoulders a lot here, drop your shoulders and then squeeze your palms together instead. Use your grip strength. Press your biceps into your ears. So shoulders down, chin up, chest up, abdomen engaged. Keep sliding your breastbone up. Keep the weight back in your heels. Hips a little more forward, upper body back. Push your right hip forward. Keep your two hips in line. Now bring your left shoulder forward. Open your chest like a flower petal blooming. Come down, push and push and push. Change. Inhale to come up. First back bend of the day. Take a deep breath, full lungs, keep your eyes open. Relax your head back as far as it goes. Look for the floor behind you and then bring your arms back with your ears. Try to touch the wall behind you.
So whole spine back bending from coccyx to the neck looks good. Lower back, middle back, upper back. Bend your total spine backward bending. Try to fall down backwards, maximum weight in your heels. Inhale, breathing, push stomach, thighs, hips, everything forward, and bring your arms back, look back, fall back, way back, go back, more back. Good, change. Inhale to come up, stretch up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Try to go down with a flat back. Hinging at the hips, stomach to thighs, put your hands on the floor and then drop your head. Go for a walk, move your hips, shake your head. Try to keep your heels on the floor. This is a U-turn from back bending to forward folding. At the beginning of class, your spine might not be quite warmed up yet. Move your hips to get your lower back nice, relaxed, comfortable, easy, flexible. Padastasana, hands to feet pose. Bend your knees halfway. You can grab the backs of your calves, your Achilles, or eventually your heels from underneath. Everybody try to bend your elbows back towards your calves. Roll forward like a wheel into your toes. Touch stomach to thighs, chest to knees, and then just drop your head. Eventually, face touches the shins below the knees. No room for light and air between the upper and lower body, but never forcing the body. Pull on your heels, roll your weight into your toes, and lift your hips up. Stretch your upper body down from the lower spine to the floor. Pulling is the object of stretching. You're trying to create a tremendous stretching feeling in the back of your body, all over, inside out, bones to skin, fingers to toes, with a smiling, happy face. It's kind of poetic. Pull more, stretch more, roll forward, push your big toes down, lift your hips up, stretch your spine. Good, change, come on up, arms with your ears, knees can bend, nice, arms down. And you stand a little taller, right? That's the goal, just standing taller. Second set, feet together. Inhale, arms overhead, palms together. Interlock fingers, release index fingers, cross your thumbs. Keep a nice tight grip with your hands. Hips forward, arms back, stretch up, and slowly drop to the right as you press your hips to the left, coming down in a straight line. And I should have said this in the first set. I'm not mirroring you, right? So it might look like I'm bending to the left when in fact I am bending to the right. You are welcome to follow my body or my words. Just know that in this style of yoga, we will do the right side first. So with that in mind, push your hips to the left, stretch your upper body to the right, bring the weight back into your heels, hips a little more forward, upper body back. Push your left hip forward, get your two hips in line. Now bring your right shoulder forward, open your chest like a flower petal blooming, come down, push and push and push. Change, inhale to come up, reset, hips forward, arms back, stretch up, and slowly drop to the left as you push your hips to the right. So nice tight grip with the hands, squeeze your palms together, seal your lips, relax your jaw, continue to breathe. In and out through the nose, weight in the heels, thighs contracted, glutes contracted, hips forward, so hips opening, upper body back, armpits opening, chin away from your chest, spine stretching, right hip forward, two hips in line, left shoulder forward, two shoulders in line, come down, push, come down, push, come down, push, change. Inhale to come up, second heart opener. Take a deep breath, full lungs, keep your eyes open, relax your head back as far as it goes, and then bring your arms back with your ears. So imagine you're tracing a line along the ceiling all the way down the back wall. If your knees are starting to bend, come up a little bit, squeeze your tush, contract your quadricep muscles, push stomach, thighs, hips forward. And then if your elbows are bending, squeeze your palms together more. Push your hands away from your face, bring your arms back, look back, fall back, way back, go back, more back, change. Inhale to come up, lengthen up. Exhale, bend your knees, go down, hinging at your hips. Put your hands on the floor, relax your head. Go for another walk, move your hips, shake your head. You've been here before, notice what's a little bit more loose, what's still a little tight. There's no right or wrong. Move your hips, shake your head. Hands to feet pose, Padastasana. Second set, bend your knees halfway. Grab the backs of your legs with elbows bent back, or grab your heels from behind with elbows bent back. Stomach to thighs, chest to knees. Drop your head, touch your face to your shins. No room for light and air between the upper and lower body. Pull on your heels. Roll your weight into your toes and lift your hips up. So you want the weight forward, but make sure you're not grabbing the floor with your toes. Roll forward, pull and stretch. Push your knuckles down. Lift your shoulders up. Bend your elbows back. Suck your stomach in. Drop your head, roll forward a little bit more, lift your hips up, try to lock your legs.
Good, change, come on up, arms with your ears, knees can bend. Nice, arms down, and you let that go. Awkward Utkatasana, step your right foot to the right, 6 inches hip width distance, keep the insides of your feet parallel like 11s, arms up, parallel to the floor, tricep muscles tight, nothing loose or hanging. Suck your stomach in, bend your knees, sit back and down into a chair. Feet flat position, very nice, spine straight to begin with, 100% of your body weight in your heels. Sit down halfway only, hips into a chair. Suck your stomach in, lean your upper body back. Depression to abdominal wall, contraction to abdominal muscles, suck it in, hold it in tight. A little bit more weight back into your heels. Now lift your chin up, chest up, lean back, fall back, way back. Try to fall down backwards at the end. Change, inhale to come up, keep your arms there. Push your hips forward. Now come up all the way on your tiptoes like a ballerina. Stretch up, bend your knees, sit down. Lean back. Touch your head and hips to an imaginary wall behind you. Lift your heels a little higher, knees a little higher. Sit down into a chair, but don't sit below a chair. Change. Inhale to come up. Last part, heels down. Squeeze your knees together. You can stay right here. Lift your heels off the floor, and when you're ready, slowly sit down. Take your time. Stop whenever you want, or when you're a ½ inch off your heels. Squeeze your knees together and forward, thighs parallel to the floor, arms parallel to the thighs, spine straight. From the side, looks like you're holding a box. Change. Slowly push the floor away from you. Good, heels down, right foot back, arms down. Take a breath. Second set, step your right foot to the right, hip width distance, not too big of a step. Insides of your feet parallel, arms up, parallel to the floor, tricep muscles tight. Suck your stomach in, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees, sit back and down. So as you sit down, notice if your knees want to come in or out, or if your toes are turning in or out, right? So it's a little bit of this action. Keep 6 inches between toes, heels, knees, and hands. So you want your knees and your toes pointing forward to the top of your mat. Drop your shoulders. Sit down 1 more inch, stomach in, lift your chin up, chest up. Good, change, inhale to come up, keep your arms there. Now lean back so that your neck is in line with the rest of your spine and come up all the way on your tiptoes. Tilt your pelvis forward a little bit, like tuck your tailbone under, stretch up, bend your knees, sit down. Same thing, notice if your knees are coming way in or way out. Point your knees forward, knees in line with the hips, in line with the ankles. Heels a little higher. Knees a little higher, sit down, lean back, change. Inhale to come up. Last part, heels down for a moment, squeeze knees together, keep toes pointing forward, just the knees coming together, insides of your feet stay parallel, heels a little off the floor, and slowly sit down. Stop when you're a ½ inch off your heels or whenever you want. Squeeze your knees together and forward. So the depth is always optional. It's the form that we want to focus on. If you only go ½ inch, but the knees are together, great. Squeeze your knees together, lift your chest, lean back so your neck is in line with the rest of your spine, and change. Slowly come up. Good, heels down, right foot back, arms down. Good. Eagle pose, Garasana. We'll do the right side first. Inhale your arms over your head. Exhale, bring your right arm under your left arm, right under left. You can grab your shoulders and give yourself a hug. You can interlace fingers, or you can have hands in prayer, thumbs towards your face, pinky fingers away from your face. Pull your elbows down, bend your knees, sit down. Stay down there, lean back, and bring your right leg over your left leg, right over left. Point your right toes, cross your legs each other, and eventually wrap your right foot behind your left calf muscle. Doesn't have to be today or tomorrow. At first, just pointing your right toes towards your left calf. If your foot is coming out, sit down more. If you're losing your balance, arch your upper body back. Bring your knees to the right, upper body to the left, twist like ropes, sit a little lower, arch your upper body back at the end. Good, change. Feet together, arms over your head. We'll do the left side. Bring your left arm under your right arm, left under right, palms together, thumbs towards your nose. Pull elbows down, bend your knees, sit down, lean back, and bring your left leg over your right leg, left over right. Cross twist and eventually wrap your foot so all 5 toes are visible. And this side might feel a little
or a lot different. It does for me. We're not symmetrical. You might have a tight hip or a tight shoulder, and over time you might find that your tight shoulder is in fact related to your tight hip, right? Bring your knees to the left, upper body to the right, sit a little bit lower, pull your elbows down, arch your upper body back. Good. Change. Feet together, arms over your head. Second set, bring your right arm under your left arm, right under left, palms together, thumbs towards your face. Notice how my wrists are bending. Try to straighten your wrists with fingers in line, and then notice how my hands are going to one side of my face. Try to bring your hands to center line of the body, and then notice how one shoulder pulls up, drop that shoulder down. So on this side, hands to the right, left shoulder down, wrists straight, pull elbows down. It's so hard. Bend your knees, sit down, lean back, and bring your right leg over your left leg. This is one of those postures where I think sometimes, like once we have our hands relatively in prayer and our foot relatively wrapped, we're like, good enough, right? We just kind of stay there. Look for the details, right? Look for the details of like fingers in line, wrists straight, thumbs towards the face, pulling elbows down, one day fingers below the nose. Left hip a little forward, keep both hips and your knees pointing to the front of your mat. Sit down more, woo, arch your upper body back. Good, change, feet together, arms over your head. Almost lost it there, let's do the other side. Bring your left arm under your right arm, left under right, palms together, pull elbows down, bend your knees, sit down, lean back, and bring your left leg over your right leg. And sometimes I think the reason why we're like good enough in a posture is because we can balance and it looks pretty and we're like, great, okay, we're good to go. And then when we do those little adjustments like I just did, we lose balance, right? But that's okay, right? That's part of growing. It's just falling out and then hopping back in. So push your right hip forward, keep your hips facing forward, left shoulder forward. On this side, hands to the left, right shoulder down. Want to keep your shoulders and hips even. Sit down more, arch your upper body back. Good, change, feet together, arms over your head, arms down, party time. Grab a sip of water if you want. Cheers. Lovely to be here with all of you. Glorious. Okay, so next Saturday is Halloween, and I love practicing yoga in costume. So there's some really fun yoga themed costumes. Like a couple years ago, I was Elle like Linda. So if you want to practice next week, costumes are not mandatory, but like they're really fun, right? So maybe, you know, if you hear camel pose and you're like, what if I was a camel? Just something to think about for next Saturday, friends. Okay, standing head to knee, Dandayamana, Janu Shirasana. Shift your weight to your left leg, lock your left leg, lift your right leg up, point your toes, flex your toes, suck your stomach in, round down, and pick up your right foot, all 10 fingers interlocked. If you think this posture is hard in yoga pants, think about doing it in a rabbit one-piece costume. If your standing leg is locked, no bend, no wobble, inhale breathing, slowly, gently lift your right leg up. Stretch it forward until your right leg is exactly parallel to the floor. No higher, no lower, standing leg locked. Take a deep breath, kick your heel forward, flex your toes back. You're training your Achilles to stretch. The standing leg is bending, posture hasn't started. If both legs lock, from the side legs make an L. Like Linda, start to bend your elbows down. Touch elbows to calf muscles, bring your chest down. One day elbows go below the calf muscles, lock your knee, lock your knee, lock your knee. Change, slowly reverse out. My teacher training was over Halloween, and you know, all the boys in hot yoga, sometimes, not all the boys, but some of you like to wear the little Speedos. So like every single guy at my teacher training was just a Chippendales model with like a Speedo and, and a bow tie. It was not very creative. Shift your weight to your right leg, lock your right leg, contract your inner thigh as well as your outer thigh, lift your left leg up, point your toes, flex your toes, suck your stomach in, round down and pick up your foot. All 10 fingers interlocked. Standing leg should be solid. Concrete, one piece, lamppost, unbroken. You have no knee. When you know your right leg is locked, slowly lift your left leg up. Kick your heel forward, flex your toes back. You're training your Achilles to stretch. Standing leg is bending, posture hasn't started. If both legs lock, puff up your chest and then bend elbows down.
Touch elbows to calf muscles, bring your chest down more. One day elbows go below the calf muscles. Roll your shoulders back and down, away from your ears. Press your hips forward, flex your toes back. Change, slowly reverse out. You can put your hands on your back and do a little back bend, or a knee bend. Second set, shift your weight to your left leg, evenly distribute your body weight on your left foot and lift your right leg up. Point your toes, flex your toes, sock your stomach in. Option to stay here or slowly round forward and eventually pick up your foot. So can you evenly distribute your body weight on your left foot without grabbing the floor with your toes? Notice if your heel is turning to the left and your knee is turning to the right. Try to press heel down so knee is pointing up to the ceiling. And when you're ready, lift your right leg up. So same thing when the hips are tight, which is like all of us, the heel will turn in. Try to get heel facing down, big toe pointing up to the ceiling. If both legs lock, bend elbows down. If elbows go below calf muscles and you can balance comfortably, slowly tuck your chin to your chest. Put your forehead on your knee. Lock your knee. Lock your knee. Lock your knee. Change, take your time as you reverse out. Good. Shift your weight to your right leg. Evenly distribute your body weight on your right foot. So notice if all the weight is in the heel. If your big toe keeps coming off the floor, you're leaning back too much. You want to move your hips forward the whole time. Lift your left leg up. Flex your toes back. Engage your abdominal wall. Start to round down and pick up your foot. Webbing to webbing grip. All 10 fingers interlocked, like you're gonna help a friend over a fence. Concentrate, meditate. Don't forget to have fun. Here we go. Lift your left leg up. Heel forward, toes back. Breathe through your nose. If both legs lock, bend elbows down, hips forward. If elbows go below calf muscles, keep pressing your hips forward, heel forward. Tuck your chin to your chest. And put your forehead on your knee. To get your knee and head together, you got to keep moving the heel forward, hip forward, toes back, stomach in. Change. Slowly reverse out. Oh, very nice. Okay, so that was a forward curl. Next, we do this nice back bend, standing bow pulling pose. Feet together, bring your right hand up, bring it out to the right. Give yourself a high five for practicing yoga today. Whee! Reach back without turning or twisting your wrist. Pick up the inside of your right foot at the ankle bone, thumb with your index finger. Bring your knees together. Bring your left arm up and all the way back with your ear. Lock your left leg. Point your right toes. Take a deep breath, stretch up, and slowly charge your body forward. Simultaneously, kick your right leg back and up. Kicking and stretching equal, simultaneous, 50-50. The harder you kick, you can balance forever. That was really good form, Deb. The harder you kick, you can balance forever. If you fall out, hop back in, kick even harder. Slowly come down, abdomen, chest, parallel to the floor. See the foot coming over the top of your head. From the side, 2 heels in line. Kick back and up, 2 shoulders in line. Touch your chin to your shoulder, shoulder blade scapula coming out of the body. Body down more, leg up more, kick, kick, kick. Good, change, slowly kick yourself up, feet together, arms down. Left side, bring your left hand up. Imagine you're holding money in your hand, don't drop the money. Bring your hand out to the left, reach back without turning or twisting your wrist. Pick up the inside of your left foot at the ankle bone, knees together. Bring your right arm up and all the way back with your ear. Lock your right leg. Point your left toes. Take a deep breath, stretch up, and go for it. Charge your body forward. Simultaneously, kick your left leg back and up. Slowly come down so the abdomen and chest are parallel to the floor. Keep your chin lifted for the back bend. See the foot come over the top of your head. From the side, 2 heels in line. Kick back and up, 2 shoulders in line. Touch your chin to your shoulder. Shoulder blade scapula coming out of the body. Kicking, stretching, equal, simultaneous, 50-50. Harder you kick, you can balance forever, kick really hard. Body down, leg up, kick, kick, kick. Good, change, kick yourself up, feet together, arms down. If your balance is off this morning, mine is too. I feel it, right? I'm right there with you. Take a breath. Reset. Second set, bring your right hand up, bring it out to the right, reach back, pick up the inside of your right foot at the ankle bone, thumb with your index finger, left arm up, knees together. So you want to start with your hips in line. Try dropping the right hip down and then moving your right hip forward a little bit. Block your left leg, point your right toes, take a deep breath, stretch up, and slowly kick, stretch, and breathe. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about falling? And then do you fall? Or can you just think about lift your chin, kick a little harder, come down, stretch a little more, push left fingers forward, relax right shoulder back, lock your left leg, relax your jaw, come down, body down, leg up, kick, kick, kick. Good, change, kick yourself up, feet together, arms down. So it is a really strong kick. For those of you that have ever swam laps in a pool, you know when you kick off the side of a pool when you do your turn, that's how hard you're kicking into your foot. If you've never swam laps in a pool, but you have a sibling, that's how hard you kick your sibling on Christmas Eve, okay? Bring your left hand up, out to the left, reach back. You're kicking really hard. Reach back without turning or twisting your wrist, pick up the inside of your left ankle, knees together, hips in line, right arm up and back. So think about kicking really hard. Lock your right leg, point your left toes, take a deep breath, stretch up, and slowly kick, stretch, and breathe. So you're kicking as hard as you can, and you're kicking in two directions. You're kicking back, and you're kicking up. If you're always falling forward, kick back more. If you're always falling back, stretch forward more. If you're falling to one side, hips might be out of alignment. Left hip down, right hip back, left ear down, right shoulder forward, body down, kick up harder, kick, kick, kick. Very nice. Change, kick yourself up. Good stuff. Come to the back of your mat and towel. Tula Dandasana, balancing stick. This next posture is only 10 seconds. Yay! You have to make up your mind to use 100% of your strength in half a second. If you're late, it's over. Feet together, arms over your head, palms together, interlock fingers, release index fingers, cross thumbs, bring your head and arms back. Step your right foot forward, a big step. Lock both legs, point your left toes, and slowly tilt like a seesaw. Arms, body, head, legs, everything parallel to the floor. From the side, body makes a T like Tom, not a broken umbrella. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good, change, left foot down, right foot back, arms back, lean back, step your left foot forward. Lock both legs, point your right toes, and slowly tilt. Charge your body forward. Can you straighten your right leg a little bit more to the back wall? So stretching forward and back, chest down more. Lift your heel up, heel up, heel up, squeeze palms, stretch. Good, change, right foot down, left foot back, arms down. Take a breath, slow inhale, slow exhale. Second set, feet together, arms overhead, palms together, interlock fingers, release index fingers, cross thumbs, arms back. Step your right foot forward, a big step. Lock both legs, point your left toes, and slowly tilt. So notice if one hip is lifting up or if your foot is crossing the center line of your body. You want to drop your left hip down, bring your left foot to the left, drop your left hip down, spiral your inner left thigh up, stretch. Good, change, left foot down. Woo, right foot back, it's so hard. I'm right there with you, lean back, stretch up. Step your left foot forward. Keeping your hips even is a lifetime of work. Lock both legs, point your right toes, and tilt. But here's the deal. The right way, the hard way is the shortcut. When we cheat, ultimately, the only person we cheat is ourselves, right? So right hip down, right foot to the right. I know it's hard. Point your right toes, squeeze your palms, stretch. Good, change, right foot down, left foot back, arms down. Take a breath. Good, okay. For the next 3 postures, we're gonna stand on 2 separate legs, just like this. No, just kidding. You're welcome to come to the top of your mat and face the long side of your mat. I'm gonna continue to face you. Starting with standing, separate leg stretching, Dandayamana Bikaptapada Paschimottanasana. Inhale your arms over your head. Exhale, step your right foot to the right. Big step, arms down parallel to the floor. 4 feet minimum. Now for this posture and the next two, the length of your step is very much dependent on your physiology, the proportion of your legs to your spine. So don't be afraid to play around with a bigger or smaller step. Lock your legs, lift your chest, and swan dive forward. Good. Grab your heels from behind. Roll forward. Lift your hips up, lock your legs, and touch your forehead to the floor. Now, if you have short legs and a long torso like I do, that's not that hard, right? But if you have long legs and a short torso, forehead might not touch the floor so easily, or just if you have tight knees or hamstrings, that's normal. Here's the deal, play around with your step. Take a bigger or smaller step. Try turning your toes in a little bit more, or if you have active sciatica, point your toes forward so the insides of your feet stay parallel. If after all that fuss, you still can't grab your heels, no problem. Grab the outsides of your feet so you can pull a little bit, or start with your hands on the floor. Wherever your hands are, everybody roll forward into the balls of your feet. See if you can bring the weight into your toes without grabbing the floor with your toes. You could almost lift your heels off the floor. Once the weight is forward, contract your quadricep muscles, lock your legs. First the legs stretching, then the hips stretching, lower spine, whole body stretching, 360-degree angle stretching, coccyx to toes, coccyx to forehead, touch your forehead to the floor in between your feet. If your forehead's not yet touching the floor, take a bigger step. Everybody roll forward one more time, lock your legs, lift your hips, stretch your spine down. Good, change, slowly come up, take your time as blood flow reverses, step your right foot back, arms over your head, arms down. Wonderful. So if your forehead touched the floor in the first set easily, take a smaller step so your spine has room to grow. If your forehead was nowhere near the floor, maybe try taking a bigger step, but you never want your step to be like so wide that you lose control of your legs. You want to feel it in the backs of your legs, your hamstrings. You don't want to feel it in the inner legs. Okay, second set, let's try it. Arms over your head. Step your right foot to the right, the step that's appropriate for you. Arms down parallel to the floor, toes in, heels out, lock your legs, lift your chest, and swan dive forward. I never realized that I had a long torso until I started doing yoga, right? So you kind of learn funny proportions about your body, like the length of your femur to your shin or your spine to your legs, right? Everybody roll forward. Not only are we getting to know each other better, getting to know ourselves better on a physical level, but I also believe through a consistent yoga practice, you can get to know yourself better on a psychological, emotional, and even spiritual level, right? So it's not just knowing, how long is my spine, it's also knowing like, what's the distance from my brain to my heart? It's the longest distance you'll ever travel. It's about 6 inches. Everybody roll forward, lift your hips up, lock your legs, roll a little bit more forward, lock your legs, pull, stretch, touch forehead to the floor in between your feet. Good, change, slowly come up, take your time, step your right foot back, arms over your head, arms down. Wonderful, take a breath. Triangle, Trikonasana, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, step your right foot to the right, big step, arms down parallel to the floor. I take an initial big step and then I take an even slightly bigger step. You want your ankles under your wrists, kind of like a marionette. Okay, push your hips forward, lean your upper body back, turn your right foot out so it's parallel to your mat. Left toes can turn in a little bit. Inhale, bend your right leg and lunge. The goal here is to get your right leg, right thigh parallel to the floor. So right leg makes an upside down L like Linda. You might need to take a smaller or bigger step to sit all the way down. Keep your left leg locked and just move your arms, right elbow in front of the knee. Hover your right fingers above your big and second toe. Don't touch the floor. Don't push any weight on the floor. You're stronger than that. Yes, you. Look up towards the ceiling. Touch your chin to your shoulder. Breathe in and out through your nose. Push your left hip forward and down. Push your right knee back with the help of your elbow. Turn. Twist your upper body back. So stretch up more. Sit down more. Turn. Twist upper body back. Lock your left leg, left foot, flat on the floor. Good. Change. Rotate your arms. Straighten your right leg. Right toes in. Left toes out. 2 heels in line. Inhale, bend your left leg, lunge. Here's the deal. If your step is too short, you can't sit down very far, right? Just inching your left toes forward a little bit might help you sit down more, lean back, and move your arms at the same time. Now that being said, you might have a really big step, but if you have tight hips, you can't sit down all the way, and that's okay. That's why we practice yoga. Eventually the hips will open. Doesn't have to happen at once. If you're up so that your left thigh is not yet parallel to the floor, like if I put a tennis ball on your thigh, it would roll forward. Maybe just have your wrist or forearm in front of the knee, so you have a nice diagonal line from your ankle all the way to the crown of your head. As you're ready to sit the hips down, then elbow in front of the knee. Look up and stretch up, turn, twist upper body back, lock your right leg, right foot, flat on the floor. Good, change. Rotate your arms, straighten your left leg, left toes in, right foot back, arms over your head, float your arms down. Take an inhale and an exhale. Second set triangle, arms overhead. Step your right foot to the right, big step. Arms down parallel to the floor, hips forward, lean back, turn your right foot out, left toes in. Let's do something fun. Look over your left shoulder. So look for your left fingers, bend your right leg, sit down. Keep looking over your left shoulder and now move your arms. So chin and shoulder touching from the get-go. Look up for your left thumb. Hover your right fingers down. Reach your left arm up. So reach your left arm up, stretch your right arm down, equal opposite. Push your left hip forward and down. Push your right knee back with the help of your elbow, turn. Twist upper body back like spine twisting posture at the end of class. Contract your left quadricep muscle. Lock your left leg, keep your whole left foot, even your pinky toe flat on the floor. Good, change. Move your arms, straighten your right leg, bring your head back to center, right toes in, left toes out. Let's do the other side. Look over your right shoulder. Bend your left knee. Lean back and move your arms, chin to shoulder. So you're just twisting your neck. You're not like craning it, careening it, forcing it around, right? Drop your right thigh down, push your left knee back. Use your tricep muscles, triceps tight, reach your right armpit up, stretch your left armpit down. You want to feel a huge stretch across your chest. Drop right hip down a little bit, right shoulder up a little bit more, stomach in, turn, twist upper body back, lock your right leg, right foot, flat on the floor. Good for you. Change, move your arms, straighten your leg, bring your head back to center, left toes in, right foot back, arms over your head, arms down. Good. So far in the separate leg series, we did a spine stretch. In triangle, we stretched and twisted the spine. In the next posture, we're gonna round the spine. So in stretching pose, we stretched the spine and the abdomen. In triangle pose, we twisted the spine and the abdomen. In head to knee pose, we're gonna round the spine and compress the abdomen, right? So the front and the back are getting opposite experiences in this next posture. Standing separate leg, head to knee, Dandayamana, Vikaptapada, Jani Shrasana. Inhale, arms overhead, palms together. This time, only your thumbs cross. Exhale, step your right foot to the right, 3 to 4 feet. A generous step. Be generous with yourself. Pivot on your heels to one side of the room. If you're on the long side of your mat, you'll face the back side of your mat. Turn your back toes in to a 45-degree angle, and then you can push your hips forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 2 hips in line, 2 heels in line, backside foot makes a 45-degree angle. Stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, and go down. Round your spine. Compress your stomach. Chin to chest. You can bend your front leg if you need. Try to touch your knee and head together. You might also want to take a bigger or smaller step, or turn your back toes in more so you can press the left hip forward. Chin to chest, do your best to bring your head and knee close together, never forcing your body. Stretch all 10 fingers just beyond your big and second toe. Bring maximum weight into your front foot. Right hip up, left hip forward. Get your 2 hips in line. Throat choked, eyes open, breathing normal. Push your forehead into your knee a couple times real quick. Lock both legs, hands together. Change, slowly uncurl, vertebra by vertebra, disc by disc, head up, last. Good, pivot on your heels to the other side of the room. I'm gonna show you what it looks like from the front.
So make sure your heels are in line, but not crisscross. If your heels are crisscross, it's really hard to line up your hips and it's really hard to balance, right? Heels in line, you have 3 to 4 feet between your feet, turn your back toes in, and then you can push your hip forward until both hips and both armpits are facing the front of your mat. Stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, and go down. So you want to go down slowly with control. That's where we learn balance, strength, patience. Chin tuck to chest, round your spine, touch your knee and head together. Again, you might need to take a little bit of a bigger step. You might need to turn the back toes in or bend your front leg. Touch knee and head together, front side compression, throat choked, eyes open, breathing normal. Stretch your fingers forward, bring a little bit more weight into your front foot. Left hip up, right hip forward, 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 2 hips in line. Push your forehead into your knee, lock both legs, hands together, change, slowly uncurl, go slow. That's where you're gaining the strength, the balance. Right hip forward, head up, last, good. Pivot on your heels, right foot back, arms down, wonderful. Second set, head to knee pose, arms over your head, palms together, cross your thumbs, maybe other thumb on top. Step your right foot to the right at least 36 inches, pivot on your heels to one side of the room, turn your back toes in, push your hips forward, peel your right rib cage back, tuck your chin to your chest, and go down. Can you look at your belly button all the way down? You cannot see your right foot all the way down. Chin tuck to chest, suck your stomach in, touch your knee and head together. Now touching knee and head together might sound kind of arbitrary. I think it's one of the craziest things we do in this class. If you can touch your knee and head together, you're rounding your whole upper body over half of your lower body, all of your spine over one femur bone. Wow, true extension to the spine, true compression to the abdominal wall. And guess what? In stretching pose, those folks like me where it was easy to touch their head to the floor because they have a long torso, this posture is our nemesis, right? Like everybody has that posture where different body types are like a little bit more comfortable with it. So if you have a long femur and a short torso, it might be easy to touch your forehead to your knee here. And I am so jealous. Push your forehead into your knee, lock both legs, hands together. Change, slowly uncurl, vertebra by vertebra, disc by disc, head up, last. Pivot on your heels 180 degrees. I say that because sometimes we look at people in class and we're like, oh, I could never do that. But I promise they're looking at you in a different posture and saying, oh, I could never do that. Uncross your heels, turn your back toes in, push your right hip forward, stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. That is one of my favorite things about a group class, even if though in this situation, we're just little boxes on a screen. I still like to believe, like I love seeing us all move together. And there is something I think about, you know, when you see somebody do something cool in yoga, at first, maybe there's a tendency to compare, to be jealous, or, you know, to talk negatively towards yourself. But eventually, my hope is if you see somebody do something cool in yoga, you're reminded like you can do that too, right? Just with a little bit of practice, a little bit of patience, determination, and loving kindness, compassion for yourself. Never, ever, ever give up. Push your forehead into your knee, lock both legs, hands together. Change, slowly uncurl, right hip forward, right shoulder forward, full stop at the top. Good, pivot on your heels, right foot back, arms down. Wonderful. Come to the middle of your mat in towel for tree and then toe, starting with tree pose, Tadasana. Shift your weight to your left leg, lock your left leg and lift your right leg up. Bring your knee to the right and foot to the inside. So you can have your foot on the top of your shin, your knee, your thigh, eventually all the way up, heel to costume. In this version of tree, you want the sole of your foot flat to the ceiling. Some other styles of yoga would call this a standing half lotus. You're training your hips and knees to sit in lotus pose one leg at a time. Slowly over time, you let the right knee drop down. So one day from the side, 2 knees in line, but never force your knees. Right hand up to the center of your chest. And if you can balance, left hand up. Notice if one hip is higher than the other, if you're sticking your butt out a lot, push your hips forward, lift your chest up, try to temporarily eliminate any curvature in the spine. Change, right leg down, Shift your weight to your right leg, lock your right leg, and lift your left leg up. And this side might be different. Eventually heel to costume. Slowly let your left knee drop down. You want to feel it in your hip, not your knee. I definitely feel it in my hip today. You can bring your left hand up, and if you can balance, right hand up. But on this side, my foot falls, right? I have a little bit of a hip flexor imbalance, psoas imbalance. So I'm going to hold on to my foot the whole time. Press your hips forward, lift your chest up. Notice if one shoulder is higher than the other, try to even them out. If you fall out when you're doing those little adjustments, I'm right there with you. Hop back in. Always finish on one leg, focusing forward, breathe. Good. Change, left leg down. You're welcome to do a second set of treat. You can also try another fun posture called toe stand. Pick a spot on the floor, 4 feet in front of you. Don't move your eyes, stomach in. Lift your right leg up. Foot can be anywhere above the knee. Anywhere on the thigh is great. You can bring one or both hands together, namaskar, stomach in, fold forward. Did you know that 90% of your vision is peripheral? That means even if you're focusing on one spot on the floor, you can still be aware of your surroundings. It's kind of cool. If your hands touch the floor, walk your hands forward, lean forward, lift your heel, bend your knee, sit down. Walk your hands back to either sides of your hips and breathe through your nose. Without moving your gaze, can you notice if one knee is way higher than the other? Drop right knee down, point your right toes, 2 knees in line. Left hand up, right hand up, elbows down, spine straight, come a ½ inch off your heel. If you can, you must. Good, nice. When you're ready, put hands on floor, lift your hips up to straighten your standing leg, and then push your hips forward to reverse out. You're welcome to come up on 2 feet if that feels safer. Good, change, right leg down, lock your right leg, lift your left leg up. I'll show you this side from the side. Lift your leg up. So eventually when we say 2 knees in line, right, eventually this knee drops back. You can bring one or both hands together. Again, if your foot has a tendency to fall, I recommend holding onto your foot on the way down. Stomach in, fold forward. At first, just leaning forward, eventually hands to floor. To protect your knee, you want to bring all the weight forward into your arms first. Lift your heel, bend your knee, and sit down. So all the weight is in the arms as you sit. Walk your hands back to either sides of your hips. Left knee down, 2 knees in line. Left hand up, right hand up, elbows down, spine straight, come a ½ inch off your heel. Good. When you're ready, hands to floor. So to reverse out, you lift your hips up first. So the weight is no longer in the knee, it's in the quadricep. And then you push the hips forward to come out. You can always come out on 2 feet as well. Good, change, left leg down. Honor yourself, give yourself high five, fist bump. Turn around, Savasana. Head to the front of your mat, feet to the back of your mat. I'm gonna adjust this angle. So fun to be with you guys. Heels together, toes fall open, arms down, palms face the ceiling, eyes open, mouth closed. Savasana, take an inhale through your nose, and then exhale through your nose. So I was in teacher training this time in 2014. Like I said, it fell over, it was 9 weeks, but part of it was over Halloween, which was so fun. And my teacher training had over 300 people from 33 different countries, which was so fascinating, especially as somebody who'd studied international relations in undergrad. And I just remember this young woman, Jessica, she was probably a little bit younger than me. She's like 22 or 23, and she's from Canada. And she had a full Batman suit, like the full suit, including like the mask that is hard to breathe in. And keep in mind, this is in Thailand in like 105-degree hot room, okay? And Lisa from Sardinia, Italy is like, I will pay you 100 euros if you keep that entire outfit on, including the mask, for the full 90-minute class. And so she was like, okay, I need $100. I'm like a broke Canadian college student. So she stood in the middle of the room and we all just watched her for 90 minutes and everybody was like, Jessica's gonna pass out, but she didn't. She kept it together. I was so impressed the whole time.
One of the other things that I learned from that experience, or that I was reminded from that experience, is like, boy, customs are really different, right? So I remember Anne Laure from Paris, France, stepped over the feet, pardon me, yeah, she stepped over the feet, no, she stepped over the head of Henny Hang, who was from Shanghai. And so she stepped over, this French woman stepped over this Chinese woman's head. Okay. And the Chinese woman like lost it on her and was like, that is so rude in my culture. So from there on out, I was like, okay, if I have to step over somebody, I'm going to step over their feet, right? Not their head. That's like more polite in a lot of cultures. Well, then I'm talking, years later, I'm talking to Whitney from our studio, who's originally from Trinidad. And she was like, in Trinidad, it's rude to step over somebody's feet. If you step over somebody's feet, it's believed that like, they stop growing, right? Like they can't grow anymore from their legs if you step over their feet. So it's one of my favorite things about this style of yoga is like there's people from all over the world who practice it with very different customs. And like, it's like try not to step over somebody's head or somebody's feet. If you can, walk around people, all of that. And yet it's like we all touch our head to our knee, right? Like we all twist our spine. Right, ball herd lock the knee or open your chest like a flower petal blooming. I think it's this lovely thing and a reminder, even, when we come from different cultures or generations or backgrounds or life experiences, I hope this yoga helps you feel a little bit more connected to folks like from wildly different backgrounds from different parts of the world. Sometimes when I'm feeling lonely, I do a yoga pose and I think about, man, somebody, I'm doing this at night, but somebody in London is like doing this in the morning and somebody in Australia is doing the same pose in the afternoon. So I hope for you, if you're ever feeling like a little bit lonely, especially during COVID, do a yoga pose and, remember that somewhere else in the world, somebody else, their teacher is saying like lock their knee and they're rolling their eyes at them and we all have this shared experience together. Pavanamuktasana when you're moving pose, right leg up, interlock your 10 fingers, grab your right shin, nice tight white knuckle grip, pull your knee out to the right, down towards your shoulder, completely avoid your rib cage, keep your head on the floor, look down the center line of your body and pull down extra hard, maximum pressure in your lower abdomen, massaging your ascending colon, change, right leg down, left leg up, pull your knee out and down and hold still, massaging your descending colon. Now, the ascending, descending, transverse colon thing, you can take it or leave it. But again, I think it's kind of a fun cultural quirk of this style of yoga. You can go to Rome and not speak Italian and you'll know when they say descending colon. Change. Left leg down, both legs lift up, grab your elbows each other, give yourself a big hug for coming to class, good for you. Squeeze your knees together and down, keep your head on the floor without lifting your head. Look down the center line of your body. Maybe notice a diamond shape between your knees and arms. Hold still, don't move, don't even blink your eyes. Change, arms down and eyes open. Take an inhale and an exhale. Second set, right leg up, interlock your 10 fingers, switch your grip, opposite thumb, pinky finger on top, pull your knee out and down. Push the pads of your fingers into the backs of your hands to strengthen your grip. Pull down extra hard, opening your hips and your chest. Change, right leg down, left leg up, pull your knee out and down. Do keep your right leg on the floor. If your right calf muscle isn't touching the floor, flex your toes back. And if you notice you're rolling way to the left, make a muscle with your right arm. Try to anchor right hip, right shoulder, right thigh on the floor. Change. Left leg down, both legs up. Grab your elbows each other. Give yourself a hug so you're putting pressure on your lower abdomen to massage your transverse colon. So it's good for digestion, right? You're pushing gas bubbles out of the stomach. It's good for giving yourself a hug. And this is a nice posture to slowly soften your body down. At first, we're kind of roly-poly-olies in this one, but eventually the head softens down, the neck, shoulders, hips, eventually, or in the future, when the bone joint skeletal system has improved, the whole spine from coccyx to the neck will be flat on the floor. Good, change, arms down and eyes open. Take an inhale and an exhale. I think my upstairs neighbor is playing the bongos right now. So if you hear that, I apologize. Next we do a straight leg sit up. It's interesting what Zoom picks up and does not. Next we do a straight leg sit up. If you have any back pain, please skip the sit up, roll off to the side and meet us on your stomach. Otherwise, legs together, arms over your head, cross your thumbs, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Exhale, grab your big toes. Exhale, elbows to floor, forehead to knees. Good. Turn, lie on your stomach for the spine strengthening series, starting with Cobra, Bhujangasana, good for your lower lumbar spine. Place your hands flat on the floor below your shoulders so your elbows point up to the ceiling. Bring your feet together like a cobra's tail, toes and heels touch. Lock your legs, look up and lift. Stretch your upper body off the floor. Use 100% back strength. Come up halfway only, belly button on the floor, chest and ribs are lifted. Elbows stay bent. They make an L, a 90-degree angle like a rectangle. Don't forget about your cobra's tail. Keep your feet together, toes, heels touch. Where are your shoulders in relationship to your ears? Roll your shoulders back and down, spreading the chest wide, feet together. Lock your legs, push your feet, hips and hands down, look up, chin up, chest up, stretch up, breathe up, beauty, change, slowly lower down. Look to your right, left ear on the towel, arms down, palms face the ceiling, toes together, heels fall open. Take an inhale through your nose. And an exhale through your nose. Second set, bring your chin forward, hands flat on the floor. All 5 fingers together, fingers pointing forward, fingers below your shoulders so your elbows point up. Hands flat, feet together, lock your legs, look up, and lift. So contract your thigh muscles. For a lot of us, when we lock the legs, the knees start to lift up, but the feet and the hips stay grounded. It's a really effective way to strengthen the back muscles. Keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine, so you're not dropping your head down, but you're also not jamming it back. Feet together, hands down, look up, chin up, chest up, stretch up, breathe up. Good, change, slowly lower down. Look to your left, right ear on the towel, arms down. Palms face the ceiling, toes together, heels fall open. Perhaps you could be a cobra for Halloween. Somebody last year, Emily B, was a locust for Halloween, which was delightful. She had this big green hoodie with like a weird green plastic. It was really cool. I'll show you pictures. Okay, so let's do it. Locust pose. You can be a locust for Halloween. So fun. Or even a full locust. Bring your chin forward, arm straight position. Flip your palms down. Bring your arms underneath you. Right, left, right, left. Deb, I know you're a survivor every year. Spread your fingers wide, lock your right leg, point your right toes, and lift your right leg up to a 45-degree angle, half of 90. See the foot come directly over the top of your head. Stretch your big toe to the back wall, lock your right leg, point your right toes, lift your heel up, hold here for 3, 2, 1. Change, right leg down. Relax your right leg, lock your left leg, point your left toes, and lift your left leg up. Imagine you're drawing a line up the back wall. Use your big toe, lengthen to lift. So push your big toe back, press your shoulders forward, lock your left leg, point your left toes, lift your heel up. Good, change, slowly lower down. Tuck your chin and mouth down, bring your arms a little closer underneath you. Spread your fingers wide, squeeze your butt, lock your legs, point your toes and lift both legs up. Come up, everybody come up. Struggle a little harder, don't give up. Mouth down, shoulders down, feet together, squeeze your butt, lock your legs, hold here for 5. You can do it. 4, eyes open, 3, mouth down, 2, 1. Change, lower down, bring your arms out. Look to the right, left ear on the towel. Take an inhale, take an exhale. I just had this delightful moment that I want to share with you. I have to admit, 10 a.m. yoga is not my favorite. Locust pose, not my favorite. Don't really like this posture. Don't really like doing yoga in the morning. And yet, just a second ago, I was like, I feel really good. Like I'm having fun. Notice what narratives you're telling yourself in your yoga class. Like, oh, this is the posture I hate, or this is where I take a break. Notice those narratives and every once in a while check in. And you might surprise yourself, like the thing that you hate, you might still be having a really good time, okay? So my hope for you is that from time to time you check in and you're like, ah, what a delight. Second set, locust, bring your chin forward, arm straight position, bring your arms underneath you, right, left, right, left. One day pinky fingers touch, but hands never overlap. Lock your right leg, point your right toes, and lift your right leg up. So notice if your knee is bending, really stretch the big toe back. Now notice if your hip is lifting up, drop your right hip down, spiral your inner right thigh up. So pinky toe down, big toe up, sole of foot flat to ceiling, lock your right leg, lift your thigh up. Good, change right leg down. Relax your right side body, lock your left leg, point your left toes and lift your left leg up. So the real locust pose is when both legs lift up at once, but we do a really difficult version of this posture. So we do a little practice run with one leg first. See how high you can lift one leg with legs straight anatomically. That's how high you can lift both at once. Lift it up, change, left leg down. So keep that feeling in your mind and then tuck your chin and mouth down. So you want to picture yourself going all the way up, spread your fingers wide, squeeze your butt, lock your legs, point your toes, lift both legs up. So picture your legs lifting up even higher than you think they can. Picture feet coming all the way over the top of your head, shoulders down, mouth down, squeeze your butt, lock your legs, lift your heels up. Good, change, slowly lower down. Good for you. Arms out, look to the left. Lots of fresh blood circulating through your knuckles, wrists, elbows, and shoulders. Take an inhale and an exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Full locust, Purna Shalabhasana. Bring your chin forward, arms out to the side like airplane wings, feet together, toes and heels touch. Lock your legs, squeeze your butt, point your toes, look up and fly. Arms, body, head, legs, everything lifts off the floor. So nice. 747, taking off just your hip bones on the, you could be a 747 taking off for Halloween. Ooh, 747 taking off just your hip bones on the floor. The rest of your body's in the air. Look up towards the ceiling where your eyes go. Body knows to follow. Keep your feet together, toes and heels touch. Lift your thighs up, chin up, chest up, look up. Come up a little higher at the end. Good, change. Slowly lower down, tuck in your wings. Look to the right, left ear on the towel. Take an inhale and an exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Second set. Bring your chin forward, arms out to the side, feet together, toes, heels touch. Lock your legs, point your toes, look up and lift. This posture is so good for strengthening your back. You're lifting your whole body up away from gravity, right? Strengthening the back muscles. It's a great opener for the shoulders and chest as well. Do keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. So again, you're not dropping your head down or jamming it all the way back. Eventually, fingers in line with your shoulders, perpendicular to the body. But if you have frozen shoulders and the arms are down, don't force the body. Thighs up, chin up, chest up, look up, come up a little higher at the end. Good, change, slowly lower down, tuck in your wings, look to the left and breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, Dhanurasana floor bow, chin on the floor. Bend your legs, grab your feet from the outside, 2 inches below the toes, thumbs with your index fingers. Point your toes, squeeze your butts, look up towards the ceiling, and start to kick into your hands. Very nice. Continuously keep kicking without stopping, without intermission. It's the kick that drives the posture. Roll forward once, freeze between your ribs and hips and hold still. Do little sips of air in and out through your nose. So this is the last posture we do on our stomach. It's a great back bend. It's a great way to strengthen your hamstrings, your glutes, your spine, as well as opening through the chest and shoulders. It's also good for digestion as you hold on your stomach. Knees in, feet out, wrists straight, look up, kick, kick, kick. Good, change, slowly lower down. Look to your right, left ear on the towel, eyes open, mouth closed, breathing. Second set, bring your chin forward, bend your legs, grab your feet from the outside, 2 inches below the toes. Notice if your wrists are bending a lot. Use upper fingertip strength, so wrists are straight. I know if you're like me and you have short or like small hands, it's really hard. Use upper fingertip strength, wrists straight. Point your toes, look up, and kick into your hands. Point your big toes and your pinky toes up to the ceiling. So if your knees are way wider than your hips, I'm right there with you. Try to bring your knees in. If your feet are touching, bring your feet out. So knees and ankles, hip width distance, wrists straight, Neck in line with the rest of your head. It's a great chest opener, shoulder opener. Knees in, feet out, wrist straight. Look up, kick, 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 kick. Good. Change. Lower down. Look to the left. Slow inhale. Even slower exhale. Good. Bring your chin forward, hands on the floor, push up. Come to the top of your mat and towel for fixed firm Supta Vajrasana. Open your feet, open your knees. As you're ready, start to walk your hands back. If you have tight knees or ankles, this might be as far as you get today. That's really normal. You can keep your hands in front of you, beside you, or even behind you the whole time. If you can sit down between your heels, put your hands on your feet, right elbow down, left elbow down, drop your head back, head on the floor, tuck your chin in, neck, shoulders on the floor, arms over your head, grab your elbows each other and hold. Wherever you are is just perfect. You want a gentle stretch through your toes, ankles, knees, and hips, but never a point of pain. Make sure your knees stay in contact with the floor the whole time. If your knees are coming off the floor, that can really hurt your knees and ankles. So come up a little bit so that the knees are on the floor. Change, put your hands on your feet, come up carefully, head up last, turn around, Savasana. As you release from the posture, you release the tourniquet effect, fresh blood rushing through your toes, ankles, knees, and hips. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Wonderful. Come to the top of your mat and towel. Second set, open your feet, open your knees, point your toes back. Remember, you can stay in tabletop, slowly walking your hands back, slowly sinking your hips down. Pro tip, if you have big calves, flip your calf muscles out. Good. Put your palms on your soles, maybe knees together in the second set, maybe not. Right elbow down, stopping anywhere you feel a point of pain. Left elbow down, knees never come off the floor. Head back, head to the floor, tuck your chin in, neck, shoulders on the floor, arms over your head, grab your elbows each other and hold. Notice what story you are telling yourself. Even if you can't go very far in the posture, how are you doing? Maybe you're still having a good time, even if it's a little bit frustrating at times. Never give up, just breathe. Take a slow inhale and a slow exhale. Good, change. Put your hands on your feet, push yourself up. Head up last, turn around, Savasana. I often think of this moment from the musical Rent. And for those of you familiar with Rent, right, it takes place in I think the early 90s in New York City. And it's about, being poor and having AIDS and, surviving a plague. And it's really intense. And there's this part where they're sitting in a support circle for people living with HIV and AIDS. And somebody asks this guy, he's like, how do you feel today? And he's like, what? And he's like, how do you feel today? And he says, the best I felt all year. And he says, why choose fear? And he says, I'm a New Yorker. Fear is my life. But I think about that often, even in the midst of our own very real suffering. Sometimes if you just take a moment to say, how do you feel today? You might surprise yourself and say, best I felt all year, right? So why choose fear? None of us are New Yorkers, except Lewis. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up, elbows to floor, forehead to knees. Good. Okay, come to the back of your mat and towel. Sit knees, feet together, hips on your heels. Arms over your head, palms together, cross your thumbs, stretch up, and slowly go down. Forehead to floor, little fingers to floor. So Lewis and I are neighbors, and my partner is also from New York. And Lewis, I've never told you this, but we listen to WNYC radio every morning, and we listen to Brian Lear. And I'm always like, Brian Lear sounds so much like Lewis. This is like I'm listening to Lewis on the radio. Reach your arms forward, sink your hips down, stretch, stretch, stretch. Change, slowly come up, arms to your ears, stomach in, arms down, turn around, Savasana. Head to the front of your mat, feet to the back of your mat. Take an inhale and an exhale. Let's do it again. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good. Come to the back of your mat and towel. Second set. Knees, feet together, hips on your heels, arms over your head, palms together, cross your thumbs, stretch up and go down. Knees together, feet together, hands together, forehead to floor, little fingers to floor. Reach your arms forward, get elbows and wrists off the floor, tilt your pinky fingers down, slide your shoulders forward, sink your hips down towards your heels, re-energize, reorganize, revitalize. Good, change. Slowly come up, arms over your ears, stomach in, nice, arms down, turn around, Savasana. So in that posture, we stretched the spine. In the next posture, we're gonna bend the spine. Camel Ustrasana, our deepest backward bend. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good. Turn, come to the top of your mat and towel. Camel. Woohoo! Open your knees, open your feet, 6 inches between knees and feet. I'll show you from the side. Place your hands on your lower back. Thumbs outside, fingers inside. Press your hips forward. Keep your eyes open. Look up towards the ceiling. Eventually lift your nose, your chin. Eventually drop your head all the way back. You can stay here with your hands on your back or go back halfway, freeze in the middle. When you're ready, right hand down, grab your right heel. Left hand down, grab your left heel. Thumbs outside, fingers inside, full palm grip on your heels. Push your hips forward, lift your chest up, relax your head back, look for your toes behind you. Good, change. Put your hands on your back, push yourself up, head up last, turn around, Savasana. Sometimes we get a rush of some kind of feeling in that posture as we stretch out the front of our body. So it might be dizzy or not, like dizziness or nausea or lightheadedness, or it could be an intense emotion, like just an urge to cry or something like that. And I remember at my teacher training, it was really intense. We were doing 2 90-minute classes a day that would often be closer to 2 hours. We were like doing all of these, classes all day on anatomy and teaching yoga and yoga philosophy. And then at night, they would kind of like haze us by keeping us up and watching Bollywood films, which I actually really enjoyed. But it was a lot of like sleep deprivation and a lot of yoga, right? All the time. And so, people would like lose it from time to time and cry or have to be like carried out of the room. But I kept it together. I kept it together the whole time until one class in camel pose, I lost it. And because I had kept it together for like 8 weeks, nobody saw it coming. So I'm like crying. Everybody's like looking at me like, this person has been strong, like what's she doing? And I just felt this hand grab my hand and hold on. And I just felt this hand grab my hand and hold on. And I looked over and it was Batman. It was Jessica from Canada, who I'd had maybe 10 conversations with in 8 weeks. And she just held my hand for 2 minutes while I cried hysterically in between sets of camel. I cannot grab your hand right now, but know that if you ever feel some kind of way in any of these yoga postures, I'm right there with you. I'm holding your hand, not physically, but emotionally from afar. I'm right there with you. I'm holding your hand. Let's do second set. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Come to the top of your mat and towel. Second set, you can open your knees a little wider, 8 to 10 inches between your knees, still keep 6 inches between your feet. Put your hands on your waistband spine, push your hips forward, keep your eyes open, and just go slow. Maybe bring elbows closer together behind you. One day look up, one day drop your head back, one day go back halfway, one day right hand down, left hand down, thumbs outside, fingers inside, full palm grip on your heels. Push your hips forward, lift your chest up, drop your head back. Good, change, put your hands on your back, push yourself up, head up last, turn around, Savasana, head to the front of your mat, feet to the back of your mat. The comment that did me in, the thing that triggered me to where I was crying, this teacher, this guy named Jim Callett, he owns a studio in San Diego, he said, you've made it through the rabbit hole. You've gone through 8 weeks, you made it through the rabbit hole, you're out to the other side. And something about that, I've been staying so strong through the whole thing because it was so intense and it was so hard and I was away from my family and all of this stuff. But that knowing that I'd made it to the other side is when I broke down. So I'm telling you that because whenever COVID ends, because it's going to end, that stressor might be removed, but not necessarily the stress itself, right? So just know that, whenever that is, if when that happens, or if something else in your life finally ends or changes or shifts in a good way, in a positive way, and you still feel this sudden surge of emotions, that's normal, right? Sometimes we don't get to process things until after we know that we're safe, right? So just keep that in mind as you're moving throughout your life. It is always okay to cry. Leave your issues in your tissues. Let's keep going. Legs together, arms over your head. Tuck your chin to your chest. Sit up. Good. Come to the middle of your mat in Towel Rabbit, Sasangasana. Sit knees, feet together, hips on your heels. Make L's with your hands. Grab your heels from the outside. Stretch up. Tuck your chin to your chest. Go down. Chin tuck to chest. Forehead to knees. Top of head to floor. Pull on your heels. Don't lose the grip. Lift your hips up. If there's a gap between knees and head, you can walk your knees up one by one, but head stays in place. Squeeze your heels together, press your hips forward, lift your shoulders up, suck your stomach in, round your spine. Good, change, hips down, slowly uncurl, vertebra by vertebra, disc by disc, head up last, turn around, Savasana. Take an inhale and an exhale. Second set, legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good, middle of your mat and towel, knees, feet together, hips on your heels, rabbit pose. Let's hop to it, grab your heels from the outside, stretch up, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. Forehead to knees, top of head to floor, pull on your heels, don't lose the grip, lift your hips up. If there's a gap between knees and head, you can walk your knees up one by one, but head stays in place. Somebody was a rabbit last year for Halloween, and funny enough, it is really hard to do rabbit pose with rabbit ears on your head, but that is half the fun of costuming and yoga is there's very awkward moments. Squeeze your heels together, press your hips forward, lift your shoulders up, stomach in, round your spine. Change, hips down, slowly uncurl, vertebra by vertebra, disc by disc. So nice, head up last, turn around, Savasana. Almost to the end, everybody's doing great. Sometimes at the end of class, our mind wanders to like what comes after class. Just keep your mind with your body for a few moments longer. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Wonderful, head to knee with stretching. Right leg out, left leg all the way in, arms over your head, stretch up. Turn to your right, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. You can bend your right leg as much as you want, touch your knee and head together. Interlock your 10 fingers up to the webbing, flex your toes back to your face, and bend your elbows down to open shoulder blades, scapula. Change, arms up, left leg out, right leg in, stretch up, turn to your left, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. Interlock your 10 fingers up to the webbing under the ball of your foot, flex your toes back and touch your forehead to your knee. Bend elbows down, right shoulder down, rolling to the right, 2 shoulders in line. Change, arms up, both legs out in front of you. If you're skipping, sit up, stay here. Otherwise, lay down, let your spine realign and sit up. Paschimottanasana, stretching. Bend your knees, hook onto your big toes with your peace sign fingers, middle and index fingers, thumbs on top. Scoot your butt back, right, left, right, left. When we have tight hamstrings, the back will try to round. So you can keep your knees bent if your hamstrings are tight. So you can really stretch your spine with a straight spine, flat back, stomach to thighs, chest to knees. Now, if you can get your legs straight today, see if you can lock your legs and then go down with a flat back, straight spine, stomach to thighs, pull, chest to knees, stretch. One day, toes and head touch. Good, change, come up, turn around, Savasana. Heels together, toes fall open, arms down, palms face the ceiling, eyes open, mouth closed, breathing normal. The legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Good, second set, head to knee, your right leg out, left leg in, 2 legs make an L, no wider. Arms overhead, always stretch up first. Turn to your right, tuck your chin to your chest, go down. Now eventually you can touch your forehead to your knee with a straight leg or even a locked leg. So eventually heel comes off the floor. Bend elbows down, suck your stomach in, left elbow down, left shoulder down, roll into the left, 2 shoulders in line. Good, change, come on up, left leg out, right leg in, 2 legs make a 90-degree angle, stretch up. Turn to your left, tuck your chin to your chest, and go down.
So the reason we say roll into the right is because often one shoulder is higher than the other and you want to even them out. It is possible to overdo it though. The idea is you want both sit bones on the floor, 2 shoulders rounding equally. So both sides of your back are stretching, rounding equally the same. Change, arms up, both legs out in front of you, carefully lay down, let your spine realign and sit up. Second set stretching, bend your knees, hook onto your big toes, thumbs on top, scoot your butt back. You can pull your butt out from behind you if it helps you, it helps me. Spiral inner thighs down, flex little toes back, lift your chest and slowly go down. Try to hook your rib cage over your knees. Roll shoulders back, puff your chest forward, stomach to thighs pull, chest to knees stretch, one day toes and head touch. Change, come on up, nice, turn around, Savasana. Notice what you're thinking about. Let it go. Just take a breath. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Okay, come to the middle of your mat and tall spine twist, bend your left leg on the floor, touch your right heel to left knee corner, right arm behind you, left arm up and over. Grab your left knee with your left hand, heel and knee all touch in one spot. Inhale, stretch up, stomach in. Exhale, look over your right shoulder and twist. You can keep your hand behind you for balance. You can also grab your hip, your waistband, one day your inner thigh. Inhale, stretch up, stomach in. Exhale, look over your right shoulder, twist, twist, twist. Good, change, unwind, swap out your legs, bend your right leg on the floor, touch left heel to right knee corner, left arm close behind you, right arm up and over, eventually grab knee with hand. Walk your foot forward, hand, heel, and knee touch. If you're sitting on your right foot, slide it out of the way, roll to the left. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, twist. You can keep your hand behind you or do the half bind. Keep spine straight, chest up, rib cage open. Left foot on the floor, point your right toes. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your left shoulder, twist, twist, twist. Good, change, unwind, turn around, Savasana. We start 26 and 2 yoga with a breathing exercise and we end with a breathing exercise. So we always begin and end focusing on lung health, which I absolutely love, especially these days. Here we go. Legs together, arms over your head, tuck your chin to your chest, sit up. Wonderful. Come to the middle of your mat and towel, sit well. Knees, feet together, hips on your heels, hands on your thighs. If it hurts to sit on your feet, don't do it silly. Sit on your butt, crisscross applesauce. Every once in a while, try to sit on your feet, arms straight, lick your lips, swallow a couple times, concentrate, meditate. Don't forget to have fun. Here we go. Five, four, three, two, one. Lick your lips, swallow a couple times, sit up tall, and begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good for you. Honor yourself, give yourself a hug, high five, pat on the back, turn around, final Savasana. Close your eyes, open your arms and legs, stay a while. Let's close with 3 breaths together. Take a slow inhale and a slow exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you inhale, scan your body for any lingering tension. Just let it go through your exhale breath. Picture yourself in perfect, radiant health.